In the Stossel Matter segment tonight, a global warming scandal, kind of. One of the chief warming research centers is in England, and a few weeks ago somebody hacked into the email system for the Climate Research Unit and published some very controversial correspondence. Seems to be showing warming research may be questionable. With President Obama going to Copenhagen for a warming conference next week, the story's huge. Here now, Fox Business Channel anchor and factor analyst John Stossel. So what do these emails say? I mean, is there a smoking gun here? Or?
There's no real slam dunk, no. It doesn't prove anything about global warming, but it says a lot about the attitude of some of these alarmists who've been telling us we have to give them tons of money to solve the problem. It shows how corrupt some of them were.
Give me an example.
An example is the lengths they would go to keep data hidden from the skeptics. I'm getting hassled by people to release the temperature data. Don't any of you tell anyone that the United Kingdom has a Freedom of Information Act.
So they didn't want to give the actual hard data on warming. You know, our pal Joe Bastardi in AccuWeather down in Pennsylvania thinks it's whole bogus. He thinks it hasn't been a warming trend since 1998 in the world. Does this prove that Bastardi's onto something?
This doesn't, but clearly he's onto something. There hasn't been warming for the past 11 years.
How do you know?
The atmospheric data just don't show it.
You've seen it?
I haven't personally seen it, but my researchers talk to the scientists who collect the data.
Your guys tell you that, then.
That's right. But, you know, that doesn't prove that these guys are wrong. There still could be just a brief pause, and then this huge increase in carbon dioxide could cause huge problems. But what are the odds? And we've got real problems in the world. We've got millions of people dying from malaria, from malnutrition, from bad hygiene that causes horrible diseases. The idea that we should keep them poor by spending all this money on global warming is an awful idea.
All right, so Obama goes to Copenhagen next week with all the other leaders, and they all say, yeah, we don't want a hot planet because it's bad for everybody. And you say it's all bunk? The whole thing's a charade?
Not the whole thing. You have to divide it. Yes, the globe has been warming. Yes, man probably makes it worse. But does that mean buying a Prius is going to make any difference?
But shouldn't we all try to have a cleaner, more balanced planet? Wouldn't that be better for everybody to do that?
Sure, but when I think of clean, I think of let's get rid of the soot and the sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen oxides that really poison people and shorten lives, cause smog in Los Angeles. But this is carbon dioxide. This is life. And to say that Obama says we're going to reduce by 15% and then later by 80%, we probably can't do it. And even if we sign Kyoto, it would make an infinitesimal difference.
China and India won't cooperate, so that's
that too.
You know, that's one of these things.
And
but my philosophy has always been only the deity knows whether the planet is warming and who's at fault. That's my philosophy. I'm throwing it into the hands of the Almighty. Okay. Now, if you're an atheist, of course, it doesn't do you much good, but also, along with that, I say anything that we, Stossel and O'Reilly and Obama and everybody else can do to make the planet cleaner, we should try to do, because that's the best policy.
But it should matter, and we shouldn't impose rules that wreck the lives of poor people. And let's remember...
How do we impose rules that wreck the lives of poor people? What are we doing
there? If you have cap and trade that raises prices, a carbon tax, that makes it much tougher for a poor person to drive.
That's true. I mean, these punitive taxes that will hurt regular working folks, I can't support any of that. And that's in play. But that really hasn't caught on in America at all.
Not so far. And just remember, climate changes. It was once several degrees warmer than it is now. And it's not necessarily man making all the difference.
Well, look at the dinosaurs. I mean, those poor guys. You know, one day they were chasing people around, and no, I know there were no people in the dinosaurs.
And we don't have data.
Right.
That's good.
And then all of a sudden the Ice Age came, and then Ray Romano made a cartoon about it, and the rest is history.
And man didn't cause that.
Right. But look, the reason this global warming thing is crazy is because of the media. That's why it's crazy. Gore got onto it. The media loves him. They took it. They ran with it. And now everybody thinks, you know, the world is going to end. What's this, 2012 movie? Got the,
That's
you know,
right.
everybody's going down.
And I've interviewed school children who say, we're all going to die. We're going to drown. the water's going to go up 20 feet, and I'm worried that I'm going to drown. And
Yeah,
so
we got kids who are going to be absolute nervous wrecks because of this. All right, but you are taking a skeptical on global warming, but you're not it's a big con guy.
some of it's a big con.
Some of it.
Yeah. It's a big con to say that what we're talking about doing is going to make any difference. And it's a big con to say we know that this is a big problem. We know we have much bigger problems that are very different.
All right, John Stossel, everybody. Thanks, John. Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. 3 Navy SEALs charged with roughing up a terrorist. Is it legal? Has been investigating the case. Also, the cops now say that Tiger Woods will have to pay a price for that very strange accident. We hope you stay tuned for those reports.